Today we're going to be playing some Against the Storm. It's a roguelite city builder. Super addicting. Let's see. While I've been playing it, man, I've wanted a good city builder, and this is exactly what I wanted. So let's see. I'm going to try to go over some of the systems, but I don't want to get super bogged down in trying to explain everything because there's a lot to it, and I will ramble. So I'll start out with a little blurb from the Steam page. This is a dark fantasy city builder where you must rebuild civilization in the face of apocalyptic rains. As the Queen's Viceroy, lead humans, beavers, lizards, and harpies to reclaim the wilderness and secure a future for civilization's last survivors. So, city builder with roguelite elements. It focuses on like the early stages of a city builder where you're trying to make the best with what you have and like strategizing based on different resources available, etc. And then there's roguelite elements where you're offered like different blueprints during a map, and you kind of like pick between certain choices like you would in a deck builder, and like pick up like building blueprints that would help your overall strategy. Do they really deserve to survive though? Hey, wait till you see the beaver people, Rip Rad. Then you'll know. Yes. So, alright. Let's see. I guess a good place to start would be, we'll go into this little main hub here, and I'll show you like some of the meta progression. So you get different currencies based on whether or not you complete a settlement, and you get stuff like bread, machinery, different artifacts for trading, and this unlocks talents from the talent tree. You get stuff here like you start games with human houses already, the blueprints already known, or like beaver houses. Normally you just have shelters. The specific housing give you like population happiness bonuses. So that's that. You get different like global stat increases too from these, like higher production or villager movement speed. Let's see. There's quests too. These have unlockables like decorations, different passives you can have during the game. Like here's one, for example. Resources you sacrifice in your ancient hearth burn 5% longer for every impatient point you have. And once you unlock this becomes available in the game for you to choose from, possibly as an option. Let's see, maybe I need to turn this down just a little bit more. So that's that. Deeds, they're like quests. Max impatient build. Hey, sometimes if you're falling behind, you don't have a choice. So this is what I'm working with so far. This is a run that I've already started. These are settlements that I've made. You start out with just the mountain. You kind of branch out from there. There's different biomes that you can settle in, like royal woodlands. Let's see what else we have. The marshlands, Scarlet Orchard, and what I'm gonna do today is Coral Forest, which will be the first time I've seen. But you branch out from the center, and you collect these little like meta progression currencies. And as you do that, this bar fills at the bottom. And during the tutorial, when this filled up, the rain washed away all of the settlements you had so far, and you kind of like start over back from the beginning. And so when I finish this next settlement, we'll see what happens. I'm pretty sure the same thing will happen. You start back at the beginning, but you have more resources, like meta progression wise. What I'm kind of curious about is that there is stuff way out here, and if I can only make 5 settlements, I guess you'd just like have to make a beeline straight for that. But I wonder if later on you can travel further. Anyway, this is sort of on a grid. You'll see too that there's like little notable hexes on this grid that can do other things. Like if you settle near this area, your settlement map will have a modifier where like the glades you open up have an increased chance to have fertile soil, which is good for farming. Reminds you of Dwarf Romantic? Yeah, the grid a little bit. I love that game too. That used to be my like late night wind down game. It's a cool turn idea. Yeah, and then the turn is actually making a settlement. So this I wanted to save this for stream, but I kind of scouted an area I wanted to do already. I wanted to go see this coral forest. I've not played in this biome yet. And I saw that the currency reward, the bread, there's 42, which is a lot higher than some of these other places. So let's try this. Also, not sure how entertaining I can make a city builder, but I'm going to try. I'll kind of explain all of my decisions. I have about 9 hours in this so far, just a little bit under. So when you go to pick a biome, you get a choice of caravans here, and this is who you settle. This is who you settle with initially. Beavers are really good at like cutting trees and woodworking. Humans, I actually can't remember. Actually, it may show here. If I hover over. No. I know lizards are good for like trapping and animal related stuff. How many question mark tiles have I revealed? In this run, I've done one. There was one right here that it was like a ruined city that had an increased chance to find ruined settlements, like buildings that you could unlock and refurbish and use. This area I showed already, it was fertile grounds. That's like extra farming stuff. What's up, Daniel Sakara? Excited to find out more about this game? I've had so much fun with it already. Oh, I don't have it unlocked yet, but something else with the meta progression too is daily expeditions. I'm really excited to get to that. I'm not taking that next. No, if I settle here, so if I settle by this, I only get the 36 bread reward. If I settle over here, I'll get 42. Also, there's like achievements or quests, they're called deeds in this game, for settling in different biomes. And I've not done Coral Forest yet, so this will give me XP if I do it. Is this in my streamer shop? No, it's not. I didn't think to look to add it. But, alright, let's look here. I can't remember exactly what humans do. I know beavers are good with wood. Lizards are good with, like, trapping and animals. So this is your choice of who you settle with first. They come with different bonuses. So, like, if I pick this one with just beavers, they'll get an extra group of 2 villagers that come with them. Let's see. So, before I pick, let's look at a summary for this area. So, Coral Forest. The true source of the coral growth is unknown. Contrary to common belief, it doesn't usually appear in flooded regions. The unique influence of the coral mutates trees into distinctive strands that offer various resources. And then, when you look at the modifiers, I noticed this yesterday. Trees you can get meat from in this area, which is pretty wild. Or like, I guess when you harvest trees, there's a chance that there's like meat or incense, crystallized dew, which is unique to this area. It gives you a list of natural resources you can find. And then additional effects of being in the coral forest is diverse flora. Vegetation here mutates into unique strands. Each type of tree has distinct bonus resources. And then inspiring pressure. The forest is as scary as it is beautiful. Villagers have a 5% chance for bonus yields from production and gathering for each hostility. And basically what the hostility is, the longer you settle in an area, the forest kind of gets angry with you. And so things get like more and more intense, like weather effects increase. There's other negatives that kick in, which I'll be able to show you once we get into this. But basically what I wanted to look at what resources I had here so I knew what to take with my embark bonus. So you have so many points to spend. You unlock more of this with the meta progression, and then you unlock more options too with the meta progression also. And I see there's not a lot of clay. A lot of times clay and stone can be interchangeable in recipes. There's food, roots and eggs. I think so. If an area doesn't have stone immediately available, it can be kind of hard to find. So I'll probably just start with stone, and we'll start with roots. All right. So once I start to settle, we'll see what these other modifiers are, and this will kind of like dictate what my strategy is going to be through the settlement. So far, every map I've played has been way different in terms of like what I'm trying to do to complete it. All right, so when we're starting with stone and roots, there's different difficulties here that can the higher difficulty, the more meta progression rewards and XP you get. Settler is basically villagers eat less food, and then once you go up from there, you get like more negatives, or like more negatives that happen over time. And it gets very hard. Even on Pioneer, it feels a real monka steer through most of it. Until like about a halfway point where you start to stabilize some. But anyway, let's get into this. I'm excited. Is Pioneer easy? It's what's a good word for it? It's not super easy, but it's like I don't know, it just feels nice. It feels comfy. Oh yeah, it's easy. I mean, it's like the easiest difficulty. Oh, it's Pioneer easy. I was thinking Settler. Nope, Pioneer is pretty middle of the road. What's badass difficulty? That would be Viceroy. All right, let's go. Let's get into this. I've talked so much. So this is the modifiers we're working with. Our two good ones. All right, one more thing I should say is the years in this game are summed up by 3 seasons. You have, right now we're in a drizzle. And then from drizzle, it goes to like heavy storms, and that's where it gets like more difficult to survive. Like your villagers' happiness goes down, and these negative effects start to kick in. And then you have a period of like clear and sunlight. So during drizzle, we have salty breeze. The salty air makes it easier to preserve food. Food production speed is increased by 80% during drizzle. So faster food production. And then untapped wealth. Gatherers have a 50% chance of collecting additional resources when harvesting resource nodes. So, all right, that doesn't do too much. I don't have to do anything specific. This will just always be beneficial. Episode 1 from Star Wars, yeah, Viceroy. All right, let's see these negatives. Looming darkness is in every map. So from hostility 0, this is always present. And basically, during a storm, your global resolve, which is like the happiness, is reduced by 4. And once that gets so low, your villagers start leaving. So you want to try to keep that up. And there's different quests and stuff too to have like their resolve high. And if their resolve is maxed out, then you get completion points, which helps you basically complete or solve a settlement. Can each of those tiles convert positive or negative? On the world map, they're unrelated. They're unrelated. Okay, so horrors from beneath. This is once you've played a little bit and the forest starts to get more hostile, this will start kicking in. This is at hostility level 1. Strange voices call from the depths. Villagers working in mines get -10 to resolve during the storm. So mines might be a little scary. Hunger storm. Missing even a single meal in this harsh climate can be deadly. If villagers don't have anything to eat during a break, they'll get 2 stacks of the hunger effect. Okay, so that might be able to be offset decently by this increased food production. Depending on hostility and morale, they could go plus or minus. No. Basically the hostility, the higher it gets, more of these become active. It like works its way down the line. but otherwise they're always present. The values don't change. Active from hostility. Once I click out of this, I'll show the hostility. Alright, the last one is Faint Flame. Strong gusts of wind strike the holy flame. Resources you sacrifice in the ancient hearth burn 40% shorter. Okay, that's... So, as long as you have a good fuel supply, you don't have to dump a bunch of... You don't have to sacrifice resources. So, mostly, I'm going to be unaffected by this. The main things I want to be concerned with on this run are... the mines. Maybe during a storm, I don't want people in the mines. Okay, this is the hostility. So you'll see the different things that build up your hostility. The more years you play, the more years that your settlement has taken, that raises hostility. Stuff like opening these glades, and inside these glades there are like any kind of resources, like supplies you can send back to your main hub city, farmland, places to harvest meat, ore. You start out with just this little circle and you kind of like start to uncover stuff. Meat trees, waifu pillows, yeah, the usual stuff. Okay, so yeah, there's that. Dangerous forbidden glades. These are pretty scary. Usually as soon as you open this, there's some kind of like cursed item or some weird, like an event that you have to take care of. And if you don't, bad things happen, like villagers die and that sort of thing. So you have to like send villagers there to deal with it. So you kind of want to like, there's good stuff in here, but also you got to make sure you're prepared before you open it. What else do we have? Hostility you can get from like cutting trees does it. But yeah, that's that. And so the object of the game is the longer your settlement takes to build up, the more impatient the queen gets. And basically, if this red bar down here fills, that's game over. And to offset that, you're trying to fill this blue bar. And that's your settlement progress. When this reaches full, that's a win. The ways you can fill this are eventually, I'm going to have quests that I can do. You, like, pick between objectives. Like, oh, do I want to gather 30 copper? Or do I want to, like, open up a trading post and sell, like, crop provisions? And then you complete those and you get rewards, and then your bar will fill by 1. You can also fill this by making your villagers really happy. That's when they hit this blue bar. It's not a lot. You get like 0.15 completion per minute or something. Not a lot. And then also in these glades, there are sometimes nodes that you can, they're like events that if you solve them, you send supplies back to your city, and that fills it up too. What's up, Ike? Good morning. Blitz for the adventure tile or build up? I build up for a little bit first. What I've been doing, so I think I don't go for these soon enough when I play, because there's usually a lot of good stuff in there, and like building blueprints that are super helpful. But what I've been doing is kind of like opening up the smaller glades first. So let's look at these trees in my surrounding area. I know some of these have like special resources. Yeah, these are meat. These trees have a chance to give meat. Mussel sprout, that's pretty cool. I think I'm gonna be pretty bad at this map, honestly. I feel like you should really capitalize on this stuff. Mussel sprout trees, what are these? Crimson reach trees, they have a chance to give stone and incense. Can the risk tile have good early bonuses? Yeah, there's good stuff in there usually. Usually there's like crates. Sometimes there's like a building that you can take over, like a big farm, for example. And then there's usually something that's like cursed that you have to take care of. So let's see. You also start with 3 blueprints that you can pick. So, one of my meta progression things I took gave me a 4th choice. Let's see here. This is what we have. These are our options. So you don't have to pick immediately. I want to see kind of like what resources I have available first. So far, what I'm thinking is jerky production's really good. That makes it so instead of your villagers eating just like raw meat and random stuff, you can make jerky and it's a lot better. Also increases their happiness. Like if I have jerky, one of the humans' needs are met. Yeah, they just eat whatever's in reach. And you can control that too with consumption control. You can pick like what they can and can't eat. So if you have like a production line where you're making better food, you can like stop them from eating the ingredients.